Today I'd like to talk about these two because they have something similar. You can carry them with you. No, I'm just kidding. They're not really similar. So the TRONSMART Halo is also a lot cheaper. So don't worry about price, like comparison or something. That's not the case. It's just to let you guys see what you can get for this kind of setup. So the TRONSMART Halo has one big driver, also one huge passive radiator on the rear, but you do have a panel on top. And you can remove the panel, but I did notice if you remove this panel, the bass can be a little bit better, but it can also be a little bit too present. So I do think it's a good compromise, this panel. You also have like two mid drivers and also a small tweeter. The tweeter isn't doing a lot of things, so only very small like high sissing stuff. So really like maybe only a few high frequencies. So those two white ones are doing the most of the job. And on this one it's completely different. So you have here like a big tweeter, but this tweeter is a dome tweeter. So this also doing like the mid-tones, for example. There are also some mids and a little bit of an upper bass frequencies that is performed by the subwoofer underneath. So this one is using a down-firing subwoofer. So that does mean that the whole table will vibrate crazy if you put something with bass on it. And the sides are passive radiators, so this does look very cool if it's like pushing some power. So in this comparison, it's not about audio necessarily, but more of like, let's see how it performs against each other. And I can already say that like the UB definitely is very good in the low levels. Really, it's go pretty low. And also like pretty loud. And still keeping the audio pretty crisp. I did notice with the TRONSMART that because even though it has some deepness in the bass, it's also a little bit more in the upper frequencies, but on a good way. So this does mean that this one is a little bit better for outdoor use, definitely. So outdoor, indoor. But without further ado, here's some samples so you guys can see what I mean. As mentioned before, both speakers have their own pros and cons, and you will be wondering, this one is around 140, 150 euros at the moment. So this one is 500 euros. So a big price difference, but you do see it, of course. Like the build quality is a lot better on this one, but also the overall tuning of the audio is definitely a big step on a good side. And like the TRONSMART, really for the budget, like how cheap it is, really you can't really go wrong with the speaker. But if you put something like this against each other, you definitely hear some difference. And maybe in audio samplings, it's always a little bit difficult to really hear the difference completely, but especially in the real scenarios like indoors, this is really like performed very great. Also in the deepness of the bass, especially with the standard that's included, you can like get very good audio. But with the Halo, it's really like, I would say outdoors a little bit better, but because I can't really do a lot of loud music here outdoors, I only do indoor testing. But this is also the reason why I did do an indoor testing with both speakers on like longer distance, but also a little bit closer to the camera, so you guys can see some different like of scenarios. So yeah, without further ado, this was this video. And yeah, of course, this is really a beauty thing, but yeah, in this video it was more to let you guys see what you also can do with a lot lower price. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you guys around.